In 1622, beneath the shadow of Mount Hiei, a young warrior named Takeshi sat trembling in the aftermath of his greatest failure. Blood on his hands, not from enemies, but from his own rage. 3 days earlier he had killed a man, not in honorable combat but in blind fury. A merchant had insulted his family name, and Takeshi's anger had exploded like lightning. One strike, the man fell, and in that moment, Takeshi realized he was no warrior. He was a slave to his own emotions. The local magistrate had spared his life only because of his family's reputation, but the shame burned deeper than any punishment. Takeshi fled to the mountains, seeking the one person rumored to teach what warriors whispered about in fear: Shinryoku, the forbidden technique of emotional mastery. Master Iku's temple sat at the edge of a cliff, wrapped in perpetual mist. When Takeshi arrived, exhausted and desperate, the old master didn't even look up from his tea. "Master Iku," Takeshi said, voice cracking, "I killed a man because I couldn't control my anger. I am a warrior who cannot control himself. Please, teach me the forbidden technique." Master Iku finally raised his eyes, cold, penetrating, seeing everything. "You want control? Tell me, Takeshi, when the anger came, where were you?" I was there, in the marketplace." "No. When the anger came, where was your mind?" Takeshi paused, confused. "I don't understand." "Exactly," Master Iku said. "You weren't present. You were lost in past insults, future shame, the story of your wounded pride. The anger didn't control you, your absence did. Emotion only controls the absent mind." Takeshi felt those words like a physical blow. He had trained for years in swordsmanship, strategy, meditation, but he had never truly been present for any of it. His mind was always somewhere else, planning, worrying, defending his ego. "Master, I will do anything. Teach me Shinryoku, I cannot live like this." Master Iku stood walking to the edge of the cliff. "The technique you seek isn't forbidden because it's secret. It's forbidden because most who attempt it go mad. To master emotion, you must first face the void inside yourself, the place where your identity dissolves. Most people would rather die than face that." "I've already faced death," Takeshi said. "When I saw that man fall because of my rage, I died inside. Whatever comes next can't be worse." Master Iku studied him for a long moment. "Very well. But know this. If you truly wish to learn Shinryoku, you cannot practice sword techniques here. No combat training, no kata. For 6 months, you will do only one thing." "What's that?" "Lose yourself completely, then find yourself again." The first week nearly broke him. Master Iku forbade Takeshi from doing anything he identified with. No sword practice, no warrior rituals, no meditation in traditional forms. Instead, the master gave him the most humiliating task imaginable. He would work as a servant in the village below, cleaning toilets, hauling waste, scrubbing floors. "A warrior doesn't do this," Takeshi protested. "Exactly," Master Iku replied. "And you are not a warrior. You are a man controlled by emotions. Until you can be nobody, you cannot master anything." Takeshi descended to the village, pride shattered with every step. When the villagers recognized him, a samurai, doing the work of the lowest servants, they whispered. Some laughed, others pitied him. Each moment was torture. His mind screamed, "This is wrong, this is beneath you, you're humiliating yourself. Everyone's watching, you're a failure." But Master Iku had given him one instruction. Every time a thought about who you are arises, say silently, "That's a story." Then return to the sensation of the moment, the weight of the bucket, the smell of waste, the ache in your back, only what is real. Week 1, Takeshi said, "That's a story," 10,000 times. His ego fought back with every memory of honor, every image of his warrior identity, every fear of being seen as weak. Week 2, something began to crack. Between the thoughts, he noticed gaps, brief moments where there was only the scraping of the brush, the sound of water, the simplicity of physical labor. Week 3, a village woman approached him confused. "Samurai, why do you do this work?" Takeshi paused, brush in hand. For the first time in his life, he didn't have an answer rooted in identity or pride. "I'm learning to be present," he said simply. She nodded, not understanding, but something in his eyes had changed. They were calmer, clearer. Week 4. Takeshi noticed something extraordinary. When he wasn't fighting the task, when he wasn't resisting what was happening, the work itself became neutral. Not good or bad, just movement, sensation, breath. And in that neutrality, emotions arose and fell like weather. Frustration came, he noticed it. "That's frustration," he would note silently. Then it would pass. Master Iku appeared one morning, watching Takeshi work. "Do you still feel humiliated?" Takeshi straightened, considering. "No, Master, I feel here present. The humiliation was a story I was telling myself. The work is just work." "Good. Now the real training begins." Master Iku led Takeshi to a small room in the temple, empty except for a single candle. "Sit. For the next 30 days you will practice Shinryoku formally, but I warn you, this technique will show you things about yourself you've spent your entire life avoiding." "What is the technique, Master?" "Kanjo Hansha, emotional reflection. You will deliberately invoke every emotion you fear, then observe it without reaction. Anger, fear, shame, grief, desire. You will call them forth, sit with them completely, and learn they are not your master." Takeshi's eyes widened. "Deliberately invoke them?" "Yes. Most people run from emotion or suppress it. You will do neither. You will turn toward it, invite it in, and observe it with total awareness until it reveals its nature. This is how you master what has mastered you. Day 1. Recall the moment you killed that man, Master Iku instructed. Feel everything. Takeshi closed his eyes. Instantly the memory flooded back. The merchant's sneer, the rage exploding in his chest, the uncontrolled strike, the man's body crumpling. His heart raced, hands trembled, shame rose like bile. "Don't run." Master Iku's voice was steady. "Stay with it. Where do you feel the shame? Describe it." "Most my chest, it's heavy, tight." "Is the shame solid or moving?" It's pulsing like a heartbeat." "And if you don't judge it, if you don't call it bad, what is it?" Takeshi breathed, observing. "It's just a sensation. Energy moving through my body." "Exactly. Emotion is energy. When you judge it, resist it, or identify with it, it controls you. When you simply observe it, it moves through and dissolves. Continue. Day 3. Anger. Master Iku had Takeshi recall every insult, every slight, every moment of injustice. The rage came in waves, his fists clenched, his jaw locked. "Don't suppress it," Master Iku said, "and don't act on it, just feel it completely. What is anger made of?" Takeshi sat with the burning sensation in his chest, the heat in his face, the tension in his muscles. "It's heat, pressure, energy wanting to move outward. And if you let it be without feeding it or fighting it." Minutes passed. The anger slowly, gradually dissipated, not because he forced it away, but because he stopped giving it fuel. Day 7. Fear. Imagine losing everything, Master Iku instructed. Your honor, your life, your identity. Sit in that fear. Terror gripped Takeshi. His breath became shallow. Panic rose, every instinct screamed to escape, to distract, to think of something else. "Stay," Master Iku commanded. "Where is the fear?" "Everywhere, my stomach, my throat, I can't breathe." "You are breathing. The fear tells you you're not, but you are. What happens if you don't believe the fear's story?" Takeshi forced himself to stay present with the raw sensation, and slowly he realized the fear itself wasn't the problem. The stories his mind created about the fear. "I'm going to die. I can't handle this. This is unbearable." Those stories amplified it into panic. Without the stories, fear was just sensation. Unpleasant but not unbearable. Day 15. Grief. Remember everyone you've lost, Master Iku said softly. Let yourself feel it. Takeshi wept, deep wrenching sobs. His father dead 3 years, friends lost in battles, the life he thought he'd have, gone. Master Iku didn't comfort him or tell him to stop. Stay with it. What is grief? It's love with nowhere to go, Takeshi whispered through tears. Yes, and when you don't resist it. It's beautiful. Painful, but beautiful. It means I loved deeply. Day 25. Desire. Imagine everything you want but cannot have, Master Iku instructed. The wanting rose, for honor, for respect, for power, for peace. The craving felt like a hook in his chest, pulling him toward an imagined future. What is desire? Master Iku asked. Takeshi observed the sensation. It's emptiness, the feeling that this moment isn't enough, that I'm not enough. And if this moment is enough, if you are enough? Takeshi sat with that question, and slowly, the desperate grasping relaxed, not because he got what he wanted, but because he stopped believing he needed it to be complete. Day 30. Master Iku entered to find Takeshi sitting in perfect stillness. Not the forced rigidity of discipline, but the natural ease of someone who had nothing to prove. "Tell me what you've learned," the master said. Takeshi opened his eyes. "Emotions are not the enemy. Believing their stories is. Anger tells me I've been wronged and must retaliate. Fear tells me I'm in danger and must escape. Shame tells me I'm defective and must hide. But these are just stories. The raw sensation underneath, the energy, the heat, the pressure, that's just life force moving through me. Good. And what happens when you don't believe the stories? The emotion arises, peaks, and passes like a wave. I feel it completely, but I'm not controlled by it. I'm the ocean, not the wave." Master Iku smiled. "Yes, this is Shinryoku. Not control through suppression, but mastery through awareness. Now you must test it." The master led him outside. "Tomorrow you return to the village where you killed that man. You will face his family. If they attack you, you will not defend yourself. If they curse you, you will not respond. You will simply be present with whatever arises, in them and in you." Takeshi's stomach tightened. Old fear arose, he observed it. "That's fear," he noted silently. It peaked, then slowly began to fade. "Yes, master, I will go." The journey took 2 days. With each step, Takeshi practiced what he'd learned. When anxiety arose about the confrontation, he felt it completely. The tightness in his chest, the racing thoughts, without believing the catastrophic stories his mind created. When shame arose about his past action, he acknowledged it. Yes, shame is here, and let it move through him without drowning in it. He arrived at the village at dusk. The merchant's family lived in a modest house near the market. Takeshi approached unarmed and knelt before their door. The widow emerged. When she saw him, her face contorted with rage and grief. You killed my husband." Takeshi didn't defend himself or explain. He simply bowed, forehead to the ground. "I did. I have no excuse. My anger controlled me, and an innocent man died because I was not master of myself. I have come to offer my life, if that will bring you peace." The woman stared at him, trembling. Behind her, her 2 sons appeared, hands on their sword hilts. "You would let us kill you?" the eldest son demanded. "Yes," Takeshi said, still bowed. "Not because it would erase what I did, but because your family deserves justice, and I deserve the consequence of my absence." The widow's anger rose visibly. Her breath quickened, hands clenched. Takeshi could feel it radiating from her like heat, and he understood. She was not his enemy. She was a human being in pain, and he had caused that pain. Minutes passed. Finally, the widow spoke, voice breaking. "I wanted to hate you. I've imagined killing you 1,000 times. But you're not the same man who killed my husband, are you?" Takeshi lifted his head slightly. "No, honored mother. That man was asleep. I have awakened, though too late to undo what he did." Tears streamed down her face. "Get up, I will not kill you, but you will work for my family. Every day for 1 year you will provide for us as my husband did. You will cut our wood, repair our home, bring us food, and maybe in time, this wound will begin to heal." Takeshi rose, bowing deeply. "Thank you, I will serve you faithfully." For the next year, Takeshi kept his word. Each day he worked for the widow's family, and each day he practiced Shinryoku, observing the shame when it arose, the fatigue, the occasional resentment, and letting each emotion move through him without control. The villagers watched. Slowly their contempt transformed into something else, respect for a man who faced his wrong with complete presence rather than excuses. And Takeshi discovered the deepest truth of the forbidden technique. Emotional mastery doesn't make you cold or unfeeling. It makes you fully human, capable of feeling everything without being destroyed by it, capable of responding to life rather than reacting blindly. 1 year later, Takeshi returned to Mount Hiei. Master Iku greeted him with a knowing nod. "You have changed. The village sees it. But now comes the true test. Theory in the temple is one thing. Practice under pressure is another." "What is the test, master?" "There is a warlord named Kenzaki. He terrorizes the mountain villages, taking what he wants through fear and violence. He is coming here in 3 days, demanding tribute. If we refuse, he will burn the temple and everyone in it." Takeshi felt the old patterns trying to activate. Anger at injustice, fear for the innocent, the desire to fight. He observed each arising. "What would you have me do?" "Face him. Not with your sword, but with Shinryoku. Show me if you have truly mastered what masters you." The next 3 days Takeshi prepared, not by sharpening weapons, but by deepening his practice. He sat with every possible outcome, fear of death, anger at cruelty, the desire to be heroic. Each emotion he invited in, observed completely, and released. On the appointed day, Kenzaki arrived with 20 armed men. He was massive, scarred, and carried violence like a second skin. The monks trembled. Master Iku stood calmly. Kenzaki's voice boomed across the courtyard. "I want rice, gold, and your strongest monks to serve my army. Refuse, and I burn this place to ash." Takeshi stepped forward unarmed. "You will receive nothing." The warlord's men laughed. Kenzaki himself looked amused. "And who are you, boy?" "Someone who was once controlled by anger, just like you are now." The courtyard went silent. Kenzaki's face darkened. "You dare?" "I dare," Takeshi said calmly, "because I am no longer afraid. You carry rage like armor, thinking it makes you strong. But I see the truth. You are terrified. Terrified of being weak. Terrified of being seen. Terrified that without violence, you are nothing." Kenzaki's hand moved to his sword. His men tensed. But Takeshi didn't flinch, didn't retreat. He simply stood, fully present, radiating a calm so complete it was disorienting. "You want to kill me," Takeshi observed, "not as accusation but as fact. Feel that wanting. Where does it come from? What story are you believing about what I just said?" Kenzaki drew his sword, trembling, not with anger now, but with something else. Confusion. Because Takeshi's total absence of fear was like a mirror, reflecting Kenzaki's own internal chaos back at him. "I've killed men for less than what you just said." "I know," Takeshi replied. "And each time did it make you feel more powerful? Or did the emptiness inside grow larger?" The warlord's sword wavered. Around him, his men shifted uncomfortably. They had followed Kenzaki because his rage was certain, absolute. But faced with someone completely unafraid, his rage looked hollow. "What do you want from me?" Kenzaki's voice had changed. The aggression was still there, but underneath it something vulnerable had surfaced. "Nothing," Takeshi said. "I'm simply present with what is. You are in pain. You believe violence will end that pain. But violence only deepens the wound. I know. I lived that way." Silence hung in the air. Then slowly Kenzaki lowered his sword. He looked at his men, at the temple, at Takeshi. You're not afraid of me." "No, because I see you. Not the armor of rage, but the human being underneath, and that human being is suffering." Kenzaki's face crumpled just for a moment, before the armor returned. But that moment was enough. He sheathed his sword. "Keep your rice and gold. I need to think." He turned and left, his men following in confused silence. The monks erupted in relieved chatter, but Takeshi simply stood, breathing, feeling the aftershocks of adrenaline moving through his body without resistance. Master Iku approached. "You did not fight, yet you won. This is the power of Shinryoku, not to control others through force, but to free yourself so completely that you become unmovable. Well done, Takeshi." Word of what happened at the temple spread quickly through the mountain villages. People spoke in whispers of the warrior who faced Kenzaki's rage with nothing but presence and disarmed him completely. Slowly, seekers began to arrive at Master Iku's temple. Not dozens, but a steady trickle. Men and women tired of being controlled by fear, anger, shame, and desire. Master Iku summoned Takeshi. "You have mastered Shinryoku for yourself. Now you must learn the harder task, teaching it to others." "Master, I'm not ready to teach. I'm still learning myself." "That's why you're ready," Master Iku replied. "The best teachers are eternal students. Take 3 students. Guide them as I guided you." Takeshi's first student was a merchant named Hiroshi, whose explosive temper had cost him his family. His second was a young woman named Yuki, paralyzed by anxiety that prevented her from living fully. His third was an old soldier named Goto, haunted by the violence he'd committed in war. 3 people, 3 different prisons, 1 common captor. Unexamined emotion. Takeshi began where Master Iku had begun with him, dismantling identity. To Hiroshi, "You say I am an angry person. But anger is not who you are. It's a temporary state that arises and passes. Who are you when anger isn't present?" To Yuki, "You say I am anxious. But if anxiety is who you are, then who is the one observing the anxiety?" To Goto, "You say I am a killer. But the person who killed is not the person sitting here now. That was a man lost in reaction. The man sitting here has the capacity to choose. Which one is the real you?" Each question landed like a blade, cutting through years of identification with emotional states. Then came the practice, Kanjo Hansha emotional reflection. Takeshi guided each student to deliberately invoke their core emotional pattern, Hiroshi's rage, Yuki's anxiety, Goto's guilt, and observe it with ruthless honesty. Hiroshi, recalling moments of anger, felt the heat, the tension, the story of being disrespected. Don't believe the story, Takeshi instructed. Just feel the sensation. What is anger without the narrative? It's just energy, Hiroshi realized after weeks of practice. Powerful energy, but neutral. It only becomes destructive when I believe I need to act on it. Yuki, sitting with her anxiety, discovered its root. The story that something bad was about to happen. What if you don't know the future? Takeshi asked. What if this moment is all that's real? Then, the anxiety is just my mind trying to protect me from imaginary threats, Yuki said, eyes widening. It's not true. It's just noise. Goto, facing his guilt, wept for hours. But Takeshi didn't let him stop there. Guilt says you're a bad person who did bad things. But what if you're a person who was unconscious and is now waking up? Can you feel remorse without drowning in self-hatred? I think so, Goto whispered. The actions were wrong, but hating myself doesn't undo them. Maybe I can carry the weight without letting it crush me. Months passed. Takeshi watched his students transform, not by becoming emotionless, but by developing space between feeling and reaction. They felt everything more intensely than before, but they were no longer controlled by what they felt. Master Iku observed from a distance. You teach well, Takeshi, but there is one final lesson you must learn. What is that, Master? That even mastery is not permanent. Emotional control is not a destination. It's a practice you must return to every day. Life will always bring new challenges, new emotions, new tests. The question is, will you remain present for them? Takeshi bowed deeply, understanding the truth of those words. Shinryoku wasn't a technique you mastered once and kept forever. It was a choice, made moment by moment, breath by breath, to stay present with whatever arose. 2 years after leaving the village where he'd killed the merchant, Takeshi returned. The widow had released him from his service 6 months prior, their debt settled, but he came back for a different reason. News had reached him. The widow's eldest son, Daichi, had begun walking the same path Takeshi once walked, consumed by anger, seeking revenge against the world for his father's death. Takeshi found Daichi training alone, his sword strikes wild and aggressive, each movement fueled by rage rather than discipline. Your form is deteriorating, Takeshi observed calmly. Daichi spun, eyes blazing. You have no right to speak to me about form. You killed my father. I did, Takeshi agreed, not defensively. And I see his death now lives in you as rage. Where has that rage taken you, Daichi? It's made me strong. I'll never be weak like he was. I'll never let anyone... It's made you a prisoner, Takeshi interrupted gently. I know, because I was you. The rage feels like strength, but it's a chain. It controls every choice you make. Daichi's sword trembled in his hand. You don't understand. The anger is all I have. Without it, what am I? Free, Takeshi said. You would be free, but first you'd have to face the thing the anger is protecting you from. What thing? The grief, the pain of losing your father, the fear that you're alone. The anger is easier to feel than that, isn't it? Daichi's facade cracked, his sword lowered. I can't feel that. It's too much. It is too much. If you face it alone, if you believe it will destroy you. But what if I told you that you can feel it completely and survive? That you can sit with grief so deep it feels like drowning and emerge on the other side still breathing? Over the following weeks, Takeshi taught Daichi what Master Iku had taught him, not as a formal student, but as one broken person helping another. They sat together while Daichi raged, while he wept, while he shook with suppressed grief. Takeshi didn't try to fix him or comfort him. He simply remained present, a living proof that feeling everything doesn't destroy you. Why are you helping me? Daichi asked one evening. I've hated you for years. Because your father's death created 2 victims, him and you. I can't bring him back. But maybe I can help you escape the prison his death created. That's the only redemption available to me. Months later, Takeshi watched Daichi practice sword forms with his younger brother. The wild aggression was gone, replaced by focused presence. The anger hadn't disappeared. It arose when triggered, but Daichi no longer lived inside it. You freed me, Daichi said when they parted. Not from emotion, but from being controlled by it. No, Takeshi replied. You freed yourself. I just showed you it was possible. As Takeshi walked back toward the mountain, he reflected on the journey. From unconscious slave to emotion, to student of presence, to teacher, to... what was he now? The answer came quietly. Eternal student. Because every day brought new emotions, new tests, new opportunities to choose presence over reaction. The forbidden technique wasn't forbidden because it was dangerous to others. It was forbidden because it required you to die to who you thought you were and be reborn as someone who could feel everything without being destroyed by anything. Back at the temple, Master Iku greeted him. You have completed the circle. Student became master. Master became student again. This is the way of Shinryoku. Eternal practice, eternal presence, eternal choice. Takeshi bowed. Thank you, Master, for showing me the path. I showed you nothing, Master Iku replied with a slight smile. I simply remained present while you found your way. That is all any teacher can do. That is all you will do for the next 50 years. And in that moment, Takeshi understood. The journey never ended. There would always be another emotion, another test, another moment requiring presence. And that was perfect. Because life wasn't meant to be mastered. It was meant to be met, fully felt, completely experienced, moment by moment, breath by breath, with awareness as sharp as a sword and a heart open enough to feel everything. This was Shinryoku, this was freedom. The path of emotional mastery is walked not once but every day. Subscribe to continue this journey. Thank you for watching.